What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a Mankey sweep. Now I've been wanting to do this one for a while. Now yesterday I was actually so tired yesterday. I did so much exercise and I sort of just like bombed out and I was like, oh, I'll upload it today. Right, so the Anger Point Mankey sweep. Anger Point is a really cool ability and of course I want to make use of it. Right, leave those Pokemon sweeps in the comment section, people. As usual, the highest thumb up comment will be the winner, or you could be picked for a mystery pick. So leave them below. See if we can cover some Pokemon we haven't done before. And if you've got any cool strategies, put them below there too. Right, so with this, actually this week, right, YouTube has just not been sending my videos out at all. It's been absolute rubbish. I think they've changed the way they send things out again. I mean, they started with like the notification bell thingy, and now they've changed it up once again. So just if you haven't seen many videos this week, you might want to head over to the channel because there's most of them, I think only about half or a quarter of you actually got to see. Right, let's get into this one anyway. So we have a Katana lead. Now, obviously, I wanted Mankey to do all the sweeping itself. I just had a couple of little Pokemon to help out the actual strategy. Now, we'll give a full explanation of the strategy. Got some funnies and at the end of the video too. And obviously, we'll go through the Mankey moveset and setup for this team. Right, so all I wanted to Smeagol there was to set up Sticky Web as usual. Mankey actually has nice, decent speed, but I want to run Adamant Nature, so I couldn't really offer Jolly. I would have liked to, but I wanted to run Adamant. So, now we've got my Mincino here. So all this was going to do is fling a Landset Berry at the opponent. So that's actually going to make the opponent have a critical hit rise of +2. So, I actually had a third Pokemon to make that +3, but I didn't use it in this video. I just went for the +2. I will explain what I did afterwards, but I hope you guys enjoy this one. It has been requested on quite a few videos in the past. Alright, peace. Alright people, hope you enjoyed that one. Man, Mankey is wild. So let's go over what the strategy was and what the EVs were and like what I was going to do. So with the Mankey set, obviously I had Focus Energy on there. That wasn't a must, but it was quite handy because there were some Pokemon, even with +6 attack, I was actually failing to take out. I know, like really bulky, like Premier Walls and stuff like that. So I had Close Combat, obviously for stab. I had Power Trip, because with Power Trip, it gets a boost it goes up in like 20 base power every time it gets a boost. So I've already got like +6, so that makes it, 120, so it's very nice and powerful. I've got Poison Jab for Fairies and Focus Energy. You could run Focus Energy or Ice Punch. They were the moves I opted for. Now, Cincino, I think I called it Mincino before. I flung the Landset Berry to give the opponent a +2, and then I got critted myself. So I gave myself a Focus Sash, knowing that there was a high chance that I'd get critted. So Smeagol set the web, and Alakazam actually had Trick and Scope Lens, so I could actually trick them the Scope Lens and give them the final +1 critical hit to make every one of their moves crit. I used that in some battles, and then some battles I didn't because they'd have like a Mega Stone or something like that, so it didn't always work. The other way worked most of the time. So let's go over some of the failures in this video that I had, and some of the problems that I came up against, like versing specific teams. So we had a Houndour lead here. It's actually going to crit me with the flamethrower, which is quite funny. So that's cool. I was like, well, this is pretty good. I can send this Cincino here and start to sweep with my Mankey. Now, Mankey's going to be super effective with close combat against that. That'll be nice. So all I had on my Cincino was the Fling and Lancet Berry. I mean, there's possible other moves you could run it, but that's all I really wanted to do. So I had Flamethrower and Overheat. I was like, okay, that's that would have been nice for it to hit there. That would have got rid of me. So I just went for Fling. I couldn't do anything. And then I had Inferno. I was like, what? It's got 3 fire type moves. I had Flamethrower, Overheat, and Inferno. So obviously Inferno always burns when it hits. It actually is really, really shaky at 50, but that's quite funny. So I'm just keeping him because obviously I don't want to swap into Mankey, and it's going to take me out with the critical hit on Crunch. So I was like, well, the Sage is set here. I can send in my Mankey. The Sticky Web's up. The opponent has a high critical hit ratio. I've got my Focus Sash intact. I've seen all of their moves, so I know what I'm going to do. So I thought, let's go for Focus Energy, right? Because I know they don't have Sucker Punch or anything. And then they're going to go for a Z move coming off one of their many Fire-type moves on the Houndour. Man, Inferno, it's so hard to get that. Speaking of Inferno, it's going to go for the Inferno Blast on my Mankey. I'm going to get the Focus Sash. But I didn't get credit, so Anchor Point actually didn't come into play. I was like, oh, man. That's the problem when you don't have the full 100% crit ratio. So I have +2. So Lancet Berry is like using Focus Energy, right? It gives you a 100% crit ratio. That's like the same thing, but it's +2. So you don't quite have 100%, so you need something like Scope Lens or whatever to give it 100%. Anyway, so I went for the Power Trip on the Gengar, and of course it failed to kill because there's only 20 base power, and Gengar Shrek me with the Thunderbolt. So that was a lot of the time, like that would happen. If I didn't get sometimes the Alakazam would come in and I'd trick them to Scope Lens so they have 100%. But then I'd come up against a Pokemon that would take me out with priority, or something that I couldn't actually take out. Like I didn't have room to get a Focus Energy up. So that was some of the things I come across again. Speaking of this, we had a Torkoal lead. So I was like, okay, well Torkoal's fairly bulky in defense, so I'm definitely going to need a +6, maybe even a crit to take this out, depending on what set it was running. If it was running like max health, max defense, or like a sweeping one. So I had Overheat in the Sun with Drought, and I just got absolutely obliterated there. So that's cool. I got the Sticky Web up. I was, that was fun. So I thought, well, I can swap in the Min Center now and obviously go for the Lancet Berry Fling on this, and that'll be all cool. Hopefully the Torkoal will just keep spamming Overheat or Flamethrower or anything like that. So flinging the Lancet Berry at the Torkoal, it's going to eat it, and it's going to Will-O-Wisp. Now, this is another little interesting thing too. Someone probably thinks, oh, why don't you just get 2 Pokemon, one Pokemon Fling the Lancet Berry, then swap another one and Fling the Lancet Berry as well. See, you can't actually do that. Well, you can. I got Fidget there, by the way. I was like, what the hell? You can do the first one right, but if you try and swap another Pokemon in and fling them a Lancet Berry, they actually don't eat it. It just doesn't do anything. I think that's because they've already got like +2, and it deems it as, I don't know. It's just it just doesn't work. Anyway, so swapping a Mankey, I was like, this is sweet, and then it went for the Will-O-Wisp. So I was like, I was hoping it would attack me. So I'm burned. I've got I've got +6, and I've got crits too. So I'm still gonna hit pretty hard against this Torkoal. Anyway, I think I went for the Poison Jab to try and poison this thing, and it does nothing, and then it's going to overheat me, and guess what? It crits me and takes me out. So Salt, hope you enjoyed this one.